The finances we know will arrive from somewhere. We're all going to help Ken accomplish this because that is the wind-up. If we can get the truth out of San Antonio the way we did in videos and faxes at Waco, we've got a chance to really upset this whole thing and the Weaver thing. And this is what we're all have to press for. And please help Ken and the network, the fax network, all you can.
How can you sign up for the network?
I have a fax.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
And then send in Captain. Okay.
All right.
What's the number?
You can. My fax number is 369.
Anybody wants the fax network number?
There you go. But anyhow, APFN's telephone number is 702-369-9841. Our fax number is 702-369-8101. The way the network works is I have many people that I fax to in different locations. They in turn make copies and or refaxed other people. We have many people throughout the United States on this network that simultaneously receive the information overnight, including talk radio shows, newspapers, etc., etc., etc. And all of these people, again, re-network our information. So it is very, very deep, the matrix.
This is the wonderful thing about the fax network. In a minute and a half, he can have this information in Washington. There's nothing like it. Yes,
we should acknowledge Channel 3 for the only station locally here.
Yes, we had Channel 3 here this morning.
Which is amazing.
It is amazing, but I happen to know Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, who own that station, but I had nothing to do with their coming here today. But I knew them before they were either married to each other. And they are doing as much as they can in civic good. I'm so delighted because they gave us the music of that wonderful young pianist, and they've sponsored him. They've raised the culture just a little. So, Giovanni. And if you haven't heard him at midnight on Channel 3, you've missed some delightful music. He's a lovely human being. But, you know, when I asked Catherine about his music, and she said, I've been a singer all my life, and I always said that music is divine. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know where it goes. But while we listen to it, we haven't got a problem in the world. Music is the greatest escape there is, outside of the fax network, of course.
I heard you interviewing Elvis Presley Jr. on the radio about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
You know, and the thought came to me is, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could get him to do a album on the Waco situation? Between his prestige and who he is, it would be, and particularly the sooner we could get that done, for the trials and that, we would be able to wake up many people across the United States. And music is very important.
I have already had Junior record, I Believe America is Strong. That's from the opera, Happy Birthday USA, that Morton Downey Jr. wrote for the 200th centennial in Los Angeles. Now there are 31 songs in there. It's the complete history of the United States of America in country rock, and the children love it. The first song is 97 Days Aboard the Mayflower. The second one is We're Going to Have a Party. We're going to have a Boston party and show them what to do with the tea. So paint your face, put on your beads, and come along with me. It's delightful music. But there is a story, the blood red rose of Gettysburg. I've seen tough Texans with the tears just rolling when they hear it. I happen to own the rights to this in our motion picture company, and I'm working now. That's why I was out at the spa. I thought that might be a permanent home for that musical. Mr. Hilton, Byron Hilton, was going to do it at the Hilton about 5 years ago. And Fred Domaney, who let us use the El Morocco for so many weeks. He loves it, and he was trying to help me. But I think the Breakfast Club will make that their project, and we'll get this done. I've got all the music. It's all recorded. And I think that it tells a message of how this country was founded. But in country rock, that'll get the attention of the young people.
I would still like to have Elvis Presley Jr. make a special song for Waco now. Couldn't you use your influence?
I will do that.
Can you remember that?
He's here now. He couldn't come today. He has the flu. But I'm having my piano tuned right now at the house. They brought it up a half a tone. Up here in this dry weather, it went down, way down. And he's going to bring it up the rest next week. And we'll be recording, Ray, right at the house. And Junior, I've got the pianist, and I've got the empty tapes with the big orchestra that we can record too. And I've already got, I Believe America is Strong, with the power to bring this nation back. The lyrics are marvelous. Martin Downey Jr., most people don't know, was a fine songwriter. He wrote The Boulevard of Broken Dreams when he was 14 years old. But being the son of such a famous father, he was so frustrated. I was on the air with him for 2.5 years every week, and sometimes 3 times a week, doing this book. That's what this little book is, because the messages are just as good today as they were in 1986, 87, and part of 88. We did the broadcast on NBC out of Chicago. And these are the actual broadcast copies of the messages from the beyond from many, many famous people. I think what you'd like best is Shakespeare and, of course, Abraham Lincoln. There are many of these spirits that are still in the next plane, what we call the astral plane, because they are so interested in this survival of this great country. And it's all over in everything I've been doing for the past 15, 20 years. I'm a rebel Republican from western Kansas. So that'll give you just a little idea of where I stand.
You and Dole?
Huh?
You and Dole?
I'm not very happy with Mr. Dole. I'm getting all kinds of letters from him, and he's going to hear from me. He was one of the 3 senators that voted in the Brady bill. And I didn't know that till I heard it from Bo yesterday. So there'll be some action there, too. We're not going to let any stone unturned. If we can get the worms out from and under the stones, we can have maybe a decent country again. Ken?
I'm done.
Yes.
What did you say your motto was again?
Our new motto? We're not going to ask what we can do. We're going to do what we can.
Well, I'd like to make a suggestion that Ken has got the fax network started. I wonder how many people here have fax machines. And those of us that don't, I think ought to spring for the $200 and get online so we all can get the message on time.
Well, I agree. You want to come up and say that on the mic so it'll go out on the film?
What? I have nothing. No. What? Say
Nothing.
what?
Well, Ken needs funds desperately to take his fax machine to San Antonio and live there and stay there and get back the truth to us. Do you realize how important that is?
Let me. I may or may not be down in San Antonio. Obviously, I will spend some time down there, but we'll probably operate very similar to we did in the Randy Weaver trials, where we have people attending the trials, and they write us reports every day, and then they fax them into our network, and we distribute them worldwide.
What I was referring to, the $200 is what it costs for a small fax machine to get everybody online so that when he sends a message out,
They can
everybody...
get